What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Touchdown with Doug Smith. I got one of the hardest NFL draft prospect series on the internet, and this guy, man, he takes the title, man. One of the hardest hitters in this year's draft. Coming out of Boise State, this guy had an amazing final year at Boise State. One of the best D tackles in the 2023 NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome the Mauler himself, Devine Obichere. Devine, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, man, blessed, bro. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you, man. And take us from the beginning. You've had one heck of a football story. It's easy for people to take and see all the success you've had on the field, but take us from the beginning, man. When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
I have an older brother. He's about 10, 11 years older than me. We went to the same high school. I went to Westchester. And, just being like 4 or 5, I'll go to the game with my mom and my sister and my dad. And just seeing him like under the bright lights, attacking, hitting people. I'm like, man, coach, let me get a helmet and, go run out there with him and go play. So, just watching him play my whole life, I'm just like, man, I got to do this. And then, seeing all my friends play and, watching football with my brother every Saturday, every Sunday morning before church and after church. So football has always been in my life. I think that's where it really comes from.
That's awesome. What position did your brother play?
He played DN. He played linebacker. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got defense in your DNA, man. That's dope, man.
He like hitting stuff. He like hitting stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Man, what was your aha moment, man, coming up? Whether it could have been college, could have been Pee-wee, whatever. What was your aha moment where you realized, like, man, I'm meant to really, like, this is my calling, is football? What was your aha moment?
I feel like it was a few, but it'll be like from a span from 11th grade to my first year at JUCO. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but in 11th grade, up until that point, I was a left tackle. So I thought my bread and butter was like offense. And then I came in 12th grade. I won all the awards, first team, left tackle, lineman of the year. So I was just like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Fast forward to 12th grade year, I flipped everything, started playing DN, won all the awards there. And I was just like, okay, I think I like this. Like, I'm going to stay on defense. Then I get to JUCO, I'm still playing DN. I'm really young. I graduated high school at 17. So my first year at JUCO, I'm 17 years old with these grown men. I'm playing DN and I'm having fun. I'm having success, still winning those same awards. And then, Shane Irwin, I don't know if you guys know him, but it's a good friend of mine. Played with him at Boise as well. He came over there and they're like, we're just going to move you inside and have both of you guys on the field. And at that point, I'm just like, I can play anything on the D line. Like, I think I can get far with this. So, yeah, I think that was my aha moment.
Man, that's dope, man. That's cool. And you mentioned that you went to JUCO. Man, is JUCO really as hardcore as they say it is?
Definitely, especially in California. There's no, like, boarding. I could only imagine how hard it was for the, out-of-state people. For me, I had to commute from home. I'm in Los Angeles, close to the Inglewood area. I went to Long Beach City College, so that was like a 30, 40-minute drive, depending on, LA traffic. So it's not for the weak at all. I think it builds character. A lot of people shy away from, going the JUCO route, but yeah, I think it builds great characters, and I wouldn't change my story in any way, shape, or form. So,
yeah, man, I think that's really cool what you did, man. It's not only it took courage to do what you did, but also it was a boss move, man. That, like, you literally catapulted your way to one of the best college football teams, in the nation, man. Boise State. What led you to Boise State? Did you have any other offers, or?
I had a few offers here and there. It was a lot of talking to teams, but for solid offers, it was more like the Mountain West teams. So,
okay,
I visited a few schools, but Boise State ultimately I'm really big on like family oriented. They showed me a good time. They were upfront with me with how my experience is going to be. Being from Los Angeles is going to be different. So just like embrace and be open to like new opportunities and new things to do. So, my parents, they loved it as well. And, Coach Danielson, love that guy. He's a big reason for me going there. So, I just chose Boise because I just felt at home to an extent. So, and I enjoyed it. So,
That's awesome, man. And they have the I want to say the first ever blue field, man. That's pretty cool, man. Playing on that.
Yeah. Mhm. A lot
That's
of people, I get that question a lot. Like to me, it's just a normal field because I've been playing on it for 3 years. So when you
yeah,
practice, you do walkthroughs, events, whatever the case might be. To me, it's just I love the blue field, but it's normal to me.
yeah.
For everybody else, it's like, oh my, how do you like playing? Is it distracting? Really? To me, it's just the field, and I'm used to it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think Boise, I want to say was the first one, and then I think it was like Western Washington, I believe it was, or Eastern Washington. They had the
Yeah.
red field, and then there's a few other colors out there, which is pretty interesting for sure.
I don't get better than the blue though. I think
Oh yeah,
everybody.
blue's the best, man. Blue is
Yeah.
the best. Absolutely, man. Man, you have an absolute mauler style of play, man. You kind of have your way on the D line, man. You're such an exciting player. You not only made the best of your opportunity at the JUCO that you were at, but once you were given that opportunity, man, did you take it up a notch. And with the NFL draft literally, 2.5 weeks away, we're expecting the same thing, man, because your work ethic. That being said, walk us through, man. What is your training look like leading up to the draft?
Just actually came back from Tampa, Florida with Cliff Brown and Dre. I couldn't
Oh,
speak
nice.
more highly about those guys. Any athlete that's going through their process, you need to have them along with you. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel the best I've ever felt. Going back to the pro day numbers, being I think it was top five in almost every category. A big part of that was because of them working out 5 to 6 days a week. You know, going on the field, then working out in the weight room, or starting in the weight room and going out to the field, or doing mobility and yoga, and just it was a great experience being out there and working out. I feel like I'm in the best shape I've been in my entire life. So just kind of picking things from those kind of workouts. Went to Boise. Once pro day is over, you kind of get back to like normal workouts. You're not doing
Mhm.
speed training and things like that. Going back to a little bit of heavy lifting. So I've been doing that while I was at Boise. I've only been back for a few days, so rest up the body and then get back to working out. That's kind of my plan.
Whew, love it, man. I love it. And let me ask you, man, with your style of play, was there any NFL players that perhaps you model your game after?
I love watching Chris Jones and Fletcher Cox, the whole Eagles D line. I love them boys. I like watching them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're a good group of guys, man. I'm friends with Marlon, and I know Kobe Dean personally, man. And
yeah,
man, that's a unit over there, man. That's straight up brotherhood.
just they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're built different for sure.
Yeah.
You look at other teams and like it's not the Eagles for sure. That's cool, man. Out of your whole journey, man, what's something that keeps you hungry and motivated to be successful in life?
Just never being content. I feel like each level, I was just so big on like proving to myself I do belong here, and also just making my family proud. And now that I know that they're proud of what I'm doing, and I'm getting to each level, just not being content. A lot of people will be like, "Well, I made it D1, so that's enough to tell my kids later on," or "Oh, I stepped foot in the league." That's enough to tell that story. But I'm just not okay with that. I've gotten to each level I've gotten to, and I want to just be great. I want my I take my last name so serious. I want that to be a household name. I want to bring glory to that. I think it's only right that I do that. So just not being content with being where I'm at is kind of like what's keeping me going.
Leads me to my next question. Once your
Mhm.
name is called on draft night, you're selected by a team, and you fly across the country or wherever it is that you go to, man.
Yeah.
Walk us through, man. What are your goals your rookie year and then throughout your NFL career?
I mean, you can start off with rookie year. My goal is simply just to come in and dominate immediately. I don't want to come in and take things slow. Like obviously, when I get there, I'm gonna be a sponge. Be around all the vets, soak up whatever knowledge they have to give towards me. But I want to come in and immediately just make an impact and help an organization bring Super Bowls and make the fans happy, make myself happy, and just do what I know I'm destined to do. So just be an impact. And as for career, I want to touch whatever impact, whatever organization in whatever, city I'm in. I want to be a familiar face, somebody that, is looked towards as, the next great, somebody that you can look up to, someone that's doing all the right things, even when nobody's looking. Just want to be the greatest version of myself I can be.
Man, I love it, bro. That's awesome, man. And folks who listen to that, if that don't move you, then see a heart doctor. You don't got a heart. So, I love it, man. That's dope. Let me ask you, man. That being said, with you wanting to be an impact on the field, as far as off the field goes, once those NFL checks start rolling in, are there any causes that are close to your heart that you like to give back in some type of way?
I wouldn't say there's a cause in particular, but I just love helping people. Something about seeing other people happy and me being a part of that, it kind of gets my heart going. Like, I'm from Los Angeles, California, and it can get crazy out here, So just going back to my high school and talking to those kids, and once the NFL checks rolling, make it a turf field and get them the nicest uniforms, and if it's changing the scoreboard or whatever it is, changing the bleachers, I want them to have an even greater high school experience than I did. Or even aside from football, going to like YMCA programs or after school programs, and just being an impact on the kids that come from where I come from. I lived the life that they're living and going to live, so I can understand where they're coming from. And just being a, once again, familiar face and helping out any way I can and letting them know there is another way out, whether it's sports, or being a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, anything, like just motivating them to know that they are somebody and they're special. They're going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And you made a great point, man, because a lot of people, myself included, when I was that age, being a young man, elementary school years, you think like, oh yeah, it's just being an athlete and that's it. Anything else don't matter. In reality, man, society's made up of so many things. It's the teachers, it's the plumbers, the police officers, and the doctors, the chefs, who keep this whole thing running. It's very, very, very important, man. Let me ask you, man, when what's something you want NFL teams to take and know about you that perhaps they may not know already about you?
Simply, I'm a hard worker, man. Like, taking the chance on me, you're gonna get a guy that's coming in day one with his head down, ready to work. Complaints. I'm a pleasure to be around. Whether it's the GM, the coach, the janitor, kids asking for an autograph or whatever, anybody that's in that organization, very respectful and loving to be around. I'm ready to work, man. As soon as I get my opportunity, I'm not looking back. I have no plans of doing that, not getting complacent. I just want to bring Super Bowls and happiness to an organization, man. That's really it.
Well, Devine, man, thank you so much, man, for taking and coming on this show here today. It was such a pleasure to take and share your story with the world, man. Before we go, any shout outs?
Just a big thank you to Boise State University and all those coaches that believed in me. Thank you to my JUCO, Long Beach City College, and Coach Peabody. Who else? Westchester, my high school. My management for life, Luke and Frank and all those guys and boys that's to sign to that organization with me. Cedric and E-Man. Thank y'all for making Tampa worthwhile. Dre, Cliff, everybody, man. Most importantly, my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, all my nephews, my niece that's about to be born, my cousins, and all my friends. Anybody that make this journey worthwhile, thank you, and I appreciate you, and I love you. And we're not done. There's so much more to get done. So just thank you for being on this journey with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for having me as well.
Man, no doubt, my brother. No doubt, man. And ladies and gentlemen, Devine Obichere, get used to that name. He ain't going nowhere. Once he gets that spot on the field, it's going to be very hard for a coach to rip him off there. I mean, I believe he was one of 5 D tackles in FCS this past year who had 7 sacks, man. That's amazing. Those are fantastic numbers, man. So, and those are just the sacks, man. He's all over the place, man. So, Devine, thank you so much. Also, as well, I'm gonna have, if you want to follow Devine, go down below in the description of this video. I'm gonna have all social media stuff down there below. Give them a follow. Go ahead and get inspired. Catch y'all next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.